When you're reading a lot of books every month, it can be super hard to keep track of everything. Well, if this sounds like you, give me the thumbs up because today I am sharing my system for keeping it all organized and in one place. So if you're a big reader like me, you are probably juggling a lot of reading related stuff, right? Every month, you're trying to figure out what book you're reading for book club, what books you're going to read for fun, right? You're trying to figure out, I don't know, like you've got all of these books that you're seeing on BookTube that look good, right? And so you don't want to forget about them. They're books you want to read. And like maybe your best friend told you about a book that they were reading that they thought you would love, and you don't want to lose track of that. And you've been to the library and you've borrowed books from the library, and you know that you have to return them to the library at some point, but like you got to remember when. It's a lot. Look, I'm an organized person, but before I started using this reading journal, keeping track of all of that was like impossible. Seriously, impossible. Couldn't do it. Yeah. So let me show you how I do it now. Okay, so the first way that I say organize and on top of it every month is I fill out my monthly library page. I keep a monthly library page. And so the first thing that I usually do is as soon as I know what book we're reading for book club that month, I pop the cover of that book in and I put a little sticker on it that says book club. So that way, every month, I never have to go, what's the book club book that I'm supposed to be reading this month, right? I always know because there it is. And then I'm never like looking at my Kindle going, why do I have this book on my Kindle, right? Why am I reading this? I know that I'm reading it because it's for the book club. Then, so the reading journal also has this library tab right up here. And so I keep several different libraries behind that tab. So I'm not a big numbers person anymore, but I used to set like a reading goal of the number of books that I wanted to read every month. And so I got into a habit of tracking the number of books by putting them in a library, 2 different libraries. So I have one library to track the fiction that I've read and a different library to track the nonfiction that I've read. And so even though I don't care so much about the number of books I read every year, I'm in the habit of tracking my books this way or seeing what I've read every year in this way. And so I keep doing it. I keep these libraries. Now I also keep another library to track books that were recommended to me, right? And I always try to pop a sticker on the book that tells me who recommended the book, because sometimes I forget who recommended it, and I don't want to forget, because like what if it is the greatest book I ever read? I want to be able to say, oh my God, Allison, thank you so much for telling me about this book. I loved it, right? So I keep a page behind the library tab that's just for books that were recommended. So one of the reading challenges that I'm doing this year is the All by Colleen Hoover reading challenge. Now, the reading journal does have a specific hyperlinked page for an all by author reading challenge. It actually has 3 of those. And I do use that page to sort of chart. I would say chart maybe is a better word than track. I use that page to sort of chart what I'm doing with that challenge, but I keep this library page behind my library tab where it has all the books in the All by Colleen Hoover reading challenge that I need to read. And I can keep track then of when I'm going to read them and make sure that I complete this challenge this year, right? Something about like seeing the books laid out this way is just easier for me to visualize what I need to do and when I need to do it, right? So I don't need the specific hyperlinked all by author challenge page that's in the reading journal. I like that because it's hyperlinked and you can just click to that page. But because I like the library view better, I just stick a bookmark on that page on the All by Colleen Hoover Challenge library page. And that way I can just one click and get to the library if I need to. Okay, this is a page that I just made up to show you guys. I don't loan books to people because I'm pretty much Kindle only these days. And I haven't borrowed any books from my library yet because all the books are in Portuguese. But I made this page for you because it is a page that I used to use, and it is a library of borrowed books. So it's a library where I can keep track of books that I borrowed from people, or books that I borrowed from the library, or books that I loaned to people, right? So I can keep track of the books I loan out and the books I borrow, right? And I love this because I can pop a sticker on it. On the covers of the books, I can pop a sticker just to remind myself who I loaned the book to, who I borrowed the book from, or the date that the book is due to be returned to the library, right? So I never have to go, who did I borrow, Fiona? Who did I borrow this book from, right? I can just flip to my library and go, oh, okay. Now I know. When is my library book due? I can look at the library. Oh, okay, I know, right? So I love this. It's a library of borrowed books. It just makes it so easy to keep everything organized, to keep everything, all the books that like I want to read, organized. So I don't have to either like keep adding things to my Amazon wish list, right? Which then is like 10 miles long and it seems like out of control and super complicated. And like, I'm never going to read all of these books, nor do I even remember why I put them on the wish list in the first place, right? Or the other alternative is I just keep buying books and then I never read them because I have so many books to read. There's just no order and no plan, right? So yeah, I am not about wasting money and I'm not about wasting time. And so having everything reading related, organized, and in one place like this, just, oh my God, it makes it super easy for me to just enjoy reading the books that I have. And if I'm ever like, I finish a book, oh gee, what should I read next? I don't have to just be scrolling Amazon or something, right? I can either look at my monthly library and see, okay, what are the books that I had planned to read this month? Or I can look at my recommended library, right? The library of recommended books, and choose one of those. And I can see who recommended it. And it makes me go, oh, this was Allison's favorite book last year. Let me see why. I'm going to read it, right? It's like I don't have to go out searching for a good book. They're all right here in my reading journal. And all I have to do is organize the good books that I already know about, right? That's what this reading journal does for me. So if you're feeling like your reading is out of control, like your reading list and your TBR are all like discombobulated, or if you're constantly scrolling for your next book, even though you know there are a million books that you already know you want to read, but you can't remember what they are, or you can't find them, or you're not sure why you wanted to read them, this reading journal might be your solution. Or maybe you're looking for an easy and really gorgeous way to keep track of the number of books that you're reading this month, or maybe you're tracking the number of books you want to read this year. This reading journal might be perfect for you. Look, if you're a library girl and you borrow a lot of books that are due at different times and you need a quick, at a glance way to know when you need to return a book to the library, this reading journal might be the solution. And if you're constantly losing books, losing them because you can't remember who you loaned it to, and those people don't remember who they borrowed it from. And so, you're never getting this book back. And now you've lost a book that you loved so much that you wanted someone else to read it, but now it's gone forever because you don't know who has it. This reading journal would solve that problem, and you would never not know where your books are. So this reading journal, it keeps everything you're reading organized and in one place. It makes it super easy to keep track of what you're reading over the course of a year and what you want to read. And because of the way I designed the book review pages, it also gives you a roadmap for articulating why you're responding to the book or to a character or a scene in the book the way that you are. When my customers say that it changes the way they approach reading, it does. If this sounds good to you, go to thefigtreeboutique.com and grab your reading journal. I'll put the link in the description box, but go check them out. Get one. They are so cool. If you want to learn more about the reading journal, or if you want to see how to use the stickers or what to do with some of the different pages, check out these videos. And I'll see you next time.